Bum, 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 bum. I think we're here. I think we're live. Coming here, GTO headquarters, Las Vegas, Nevada. My name's Joey Ingram, aka Chicago Joey. We are tuning in today to some high stakes heads up, no limit hold'em action. 100, 200 between two of the most popular poker players in the world. We got my man, the young Prince Fedor Holz versus Limitless. Session number 2 going down today. We saw last session on Friday, and there was a little bit of drama. There were some discussions of potentially a staged match, which you're going to talk more about. They questioned Doug Polk actually quit his stream after he felt so disrespected by Limitless. This crazy guy Limitless, right? He checked raised 7-6 offsuit on Jack 3. Doug Polk could not believe what took place. And then he saw Limitless fold top pair in a 3-bet pot, and he ended his stream and said it was a staged match. So I don't know what happened. It got a little crazy. It got a little out of line. But all I know is I had a pretty good time watching it. Fedor took a nice little head start. He was about $100,000 to start the match off. He was playing well, but Limitless battled back. And after 3 bottles of wine, he ended up only down $37,000 today. We're going to be checking out session number 2 of the match. Probably not going anywhere right now.
What's up?
Oh, hey, good. A lot of action. All business.
Same here.
Yeah. They're playing the main, right?
Yeah.
All right, good luck.
Also, this fish set me on 100, 200, so I'm...
Yeah, it's gonna be quite busy day. I'm happy I got some sleep. I'm happy I got some sleep.
Good day at work.
Yes.
So Victor deciding what size to go with. 10.2K. He does go pretty small. In the 5,000 range. Now Fedor's got a decision, and he's fake tanking. Look at him. He's got on his face. What do I do? He's playing with doing the German playing left-hand side. Here we go. Another big pot. Potentially brewing. I don't think Fedor is going to be calling this 4-bet with Jack 9. We do got a 4-bet alert from Pocket Kings on the left. Right-hand side, Fedor. You can see he definitely plays a lot slower than we've seen a guy like a Doug Polk or Daniel Negreanu play. Right-hand side, all in, and anticlimactic chop. See, when you can't see the card, oh my God, lock in, left-hand side. When you can't see the cards, you don't really know what's going to happen. But now we know on the left-hand side, we're going to see a battle. Fedor Holz calls the 4-bet, flops top 2 pair. First Limitless is over pair. You can see in the 4-bet pot, they go with that quarter pot size bet. Let's see how Fedor plays this. He's got top 2. The only option you can go wrong with is by folding. He could check raise small, maybe like 6,000. Could just check call. So Fedor, the run good begins today for the young Prince. We saw this happen last match. He started off running exceptionally well. Left-hand table. The big pot energy is brewing in these 4-bet pots. See how he plays this one, guys. He's got to be thinking, okay, he does go with a small check raise. Victor, now he's got a big decision to make. Pocket Kings, I mean, you're probably not going anywhere with Pocket Kings. It's just a matter of, are you going to call or are you going to go all in? If you go all in, he does go all in. Fedor calls. $41,000 pot is in the middle. Victor needs a king or an 8. River turns a deuce. River is going to be, let's see the peels, a 4 of diamonds, and Fedor Holz wins our first big pot of the session, $41,000. Goes his way for the young Prince.
Oh, there is no rebuy button.
Good luck with the queens.
Yeah.
Left-hand side, 3-bet pre-flop. Queen 3-3 flop. Fedor 8-9 of diamonds. Expect to see him bet here. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw.
Yeah, but
check or
thanks
bet,
for
though.
allowing me not
Victor.
drinking today. I mean, too much tables.
No problem.
Good. Yeah. I'll make up next time.
So now Victor said he's can't drink today because he's playing too many tables. Interesting. But yeah, they can see each other, guys. Shout out to my man, Nasty Nate. Much love, brother. Nice to see you guys. Very nice to see everybody here tuning in, watching these two boys battle it out. Left-hand side, Fedor debating whether to 2-barrel with the 8-9 of diamonds. He decides to check it. Now Wiktor with the ace jack called with the open-ended straight draw, or backdoor open-ended straight draw on the flop, or backdoor, I guess this isn't really backdoor open-ended straight draw. It's a backdoor, just a backdoor straight draw. Still got ace high though. Can't really go anywhere with that strong of a hand. Turn goes check, check. Now Fedor might be thinking about turning this into a bluff. 8-9 of diamonds. Wiktor, what does he mean checking back the turn with? Some queens, some threes. Gonna have his ace highs. He does check, does instantly call the river. So Wiktor snaps him off with the ace jack. $15,000 pot goes his way. Nice play by Wiktor. Right hand side 3-bet from Fedor. Ace jack offsuit. Wiktor ace 5. He's gonna 4-bet this hand. Ace 5 offsuit. So we got a 4-bet alert on the right hand table. Let's see what Fedor decides to do. Or ace jack offsuit. Very close hand. Don't love it either way. And you got the ace jack offsuit here. He does go ahead and call. Queen 10-8 lock in. Could be a big pot here. I expect Wiktor to bet small, and Fedor with a double gutter not going to go anywhere. He might decide to get a little frisky and throw in a check raise. It would seem the standard would be to check call. Very interesting spot. Backdoor club draw for both players as Wiktor does go with that small bet, that quarter pot bet in the 4-bet pot. We saw that very often. Let's see what the young prince is going to decide to do. It's a big pot bruise. He does just check call. Turd is an ace. Now both players make top pair. Fedor, ace jack, top pair, jack kicker. Wiktor, what does he got to be putting Fedor on when Fedor calls the 4-bet? Hands like queen jack, king jack, jack 9. We saw him show up with jack 9 clubs earlier in the 4-bet pot. Hands like jack 10. Probably not 8 jack suited, maybe 8-9 suited. So let's see if Wiktor, it's a very interesting spot. 4-bet pot. Let's see what Wiktor decides to go with here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him do any option, check or bet. Does get some value from those one pair hands with gut shots. Maybe he bets this turn, checks back the river. He's in the tank. Very hard. And he does go ahead and bet 4,200 and 14,000. Now Fedor's got a decision with the top pair, jack kicker. He's scared of ace queen. He's scared of ace king. He's scared of pocket queens, pocket tens. Wiktor might 4-bet a 4-bet a king jack suited. So you got to be a little worried about that hand. I imagine he's just going to check call here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him check raise it as well. I mean, what do you get called by if you check raise? And yeah, that's a good question. What do you get called by that you beat? Not many hands. He does just check call. River is a 10. So now it's a chop pot. Fedor gets a little bit unlucky on the river. So we got a 4-bet pre-flop. Check call flop. Check call turn. River's a 10. Fedor had a hand like 10 jack or 10-9. It's now improved to 3 10s. Wiktor can't be loving his position. I mean, he does have the top pair. Maybe he thinks about turning this into a... you get some value from a king queen, queen jack maybe. Maybe he thinks Fedor might fold his 10s. So maybe he might try to maybe turn this into a bluff potentially. A bluff or value bet. A little merge range. Get called by a queen. Maybe fold out another ace. Maybe ace 5 suited. He does go all in. Now Fedor in a really tough spot with the ace jack. He loses to ace king. He loses to ace queen. He loses to queens. He now loses to 10 jack. Wiktor probably wouldn't be bluffing here with kings. Probably wouldn't be bluffing here with jacks. Maybe like a king 5 suited type hand if he would have 4-bet that. It's a young prince here. Locked in, deciding, what am I going to do? Top pair. Got the queen as my kicker. My jack doesn't play. The first time we've really seen Wiktor 4-bet him. So here we go. Fedor is going to tank down here. What is he going to do? Real tough spot here, guys. I mean, you can basically beat the king 8, the king X hands that are the worst king X's here. Maybe like king 9, you know, that too, yeah. Would Victor 4-bet a hand like a Jack 6? No. Jack 7? No. Jack 9? Maybe. That makes a straight. I mean, there aren't really many hands you beat here. So great bluff here by Limitless. Fedor Holz is in the tank. If he calls, I mean, when you call and you get a chop, that's a miserable poker feeling. I mean, you finally hero call the guy, you get it right, and you chop. Rasmus says the fact that he's getting good odds, he does call with the ace jack, getting a good price on the river, and now they chop it up. $40,000 goes both players' way. Anticlimactic ending there as we see a chop pot. You're basically negotiating for equity. You're negotiating for what your responsibilities are going to be. You're negotiating for what some type of compensation from on a retainer-based fee might be. So kind of go back and forth, figure out what you want to do, where you want to focus on, what your strengths are, what you like doing, what you don't like doing. So it's very interesting position to be in and very unusual position to be in. So poker, very easy thing to do. Left hand, comparatively to me, left-hand side, Fedor, nice overbet with the 9. So what does he have here? He's got a gutter and he blocks the straight 5-9. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, seems a little bit loose. And now Victor has the king 8, third pair. You might not want to fold. He doesn't fold. River's a 4. So let's see if Fedor, this is the kind of spot you put yourself in. Unfortunately, it's actually something I've noticed from my study is that, you know, the frequencies might say you're going to want to bet big some percent of the time. And the problem with that is that when you bet big that small percentage of the time, let's say you make a big bet 20% of the time, you end up in this spot right here exactly where you're really not sure what to do. And it leads to potentially bigger mistakes. So I've been actually trying to think how to combat that when I'm playing in my own study. And now Fedor does indeed bet the pot. I'd be really interested to see what people think about this hand. This is a good bluff. And you might say, well, once you get to the river, we block. I mean, he does call on Victor. Yeah, nice call by Victor there. King 8, $16,000 pot goes Victor's way. That a little out of line bluff. And that's kind of what I'm saying. You know, once you start the process of betting big on a turn and then you feel like you need to follow through on the river, you put yourself in some pretty dicey, some spicy, some situations where, you know, you might be making a little bit out of line plays. And that's where the mistakes really, really, really start to add up when you potentially make like a -8 chip blunder on a later street. You know, those are pretty big mistakes. Whereas in earlier streets, you might be making a decision that's between 1 or 2 chips and sometimes even less. So in that scenario, if you make one option or the other, you know, there's really not that big of a difference. But in some of these other spots, you know, there are pretty big differences. And now you might say, you know, bet 5-9, bottom of range. Once you get there, you got to bluff that hand. You talk about what size you want to go for. Do you want to go big? Do you want to go small? And those are all very interesting things to discuss. Right-hand side, Victor going for an overbet on the river with the full house. Second full house, though, so he has a 9s. Does not have the king. Fedor Holz, luckily for him, has the king, and now he's thinking about what to raise. If he raises here, I mean, when's he hoping to get called by a 9? So he could make it I don't know what side. I'd probably go with small raise here. I don't think Victor's going to do this with an ace. Maybe he does it with a 10. The guy's a crazy guy. Left-hand side, aces for Victor. Takes down a nice pot versus top pair for Fedor. So right-hand side, I'm curious to see how Fedor is going to play this one. He does raise 7,200. Now Victor has to decide, is this guy really going to bluff my overbet? What hands would he bluff my overbet with? What hands would he bluff here with? That's a good question. I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what he bluffed there with. So I think he's going to have a lot of value in that situation. You got to fold your 9s, and he does lay it down indeed. Single raise pots, you can see that a single raise pot is a more common format. Right-hand side, check raise by Victor. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Fedor's got top pair. He's not going anywhere. He's a little scared of, you know, he's worried about Victor having flush draws here. You know, maybe some sets, 7s, 5s, deuces. Victor, we know he 3-bet 7 deuce, so he probably wouldn't flat that one pre-flop. So Victor does check the turn on the right-hand table. And 2 deep LA, Joey, I saw you want to play some heads up Nolan Hold'em. I will play, bud. We can film it. 0 prep, only field player. No problem. Let's play, Andrew. Shout out to my buddy out there in Too Deep LA. I put out a tweet yesterday talking about I'm looking for people to play and heads up Norman Hold'em mid stakes. So Landon said he wants to play. Berkey said he wants to play. So it looks like we're gonna get some competitors here to be able to get into the ring. I gotta put some music on over here, guys. So let's see, right-hand table, check on the turn. Will Wiktor turn this into a bluff? He does turn into a bluff. And now Fedor, most likely not going to lay this one down. He's scared of having flushes. He doesn't want Wiktor to have a flush. Maybe 3-4, but I think 3-4 would probably bet the turn. 6-8, 6-8 makes a straight. Maybe that would bet the turn as well. He had a hand like 6-8, 1 diamond, 6-8 suited. It's going to 3-bet pre-flop. So I think Fedor, I was thinking about what's the worst hand he wants to have here. I think having a diamond in his hand is good. So he blocks some of those flushes, blocks a hand like Queen Jack of Diamonds. Queen Jack of Diamonds might 3-bet pre-flop as well too. Jack 10 of Diamonds might 3-bet pre-flop as well. Yeah, he's going to block maybe like a Jack 6 of Diamonds. I don't know if Wiktor would have check raised that hand. Fedor raises, interesting play. Okay. So he raises. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Dude, I'm actually really excited. I talked about this. We got a sizzle reel coming up for Poker Go for the match, and they gave me some questions to answer, and I said, you know, I don't want to bet against Helmuth because Helmuth is kind of a god, and he's like sit and go style formats. He's beat Jungle Man, he's beat Doug Polk, he's beat Antonio Sfandiari twice. So, but I'm curious to see Daniel play against someone who's not Doug Polk. So I'm really excited to see what kind of moves the guy got, and yeah, just to see, because you know you see him play against Doug, and it's really hard to gauge where does he stand in the scheme of things. Right hand side, Fedor making a nice bluff here. These guys are taking to the streets here, guys. We got to lock in. We got a lot of action today. Fedor turning that deuce into a bluff. I mean, this is nice here. He's got the king high. He's got the deuce of diamonds. And Malinowski's not, I mean, Fedor definitely taking it to Wiktor. Wiktor, beautiful call with the 10. He bet calls the river. Wow, what a nice hand, man. What I mean, nice bluff by Fedor. Maybe a little bit out of line, but nice play by him. And Malinowski absolutely owns him there with the 10. I was thinking Helmuth's probably going to bring a game at you that, like a lot of limping. You know, you talked about you didn't necessarily study much limping. So I feel like Helmuth is going to whip out some non-standard lines, and he's going to do some really weird shit. So I'm very curious to see how a more, you know, how you adjust and how you try to exploit some of those weaknesses. And if you've studied the deviations for how to exploit maybe a strategy that Helmuth's going to be able to employ against you. Also in the live arena, I mean, you guys are both, you know, live pros, so you guys are really good at the live aspect of things and looking for tells and looking for more information from players. So left-hand side, 3-bet pre-flop. Fedor bets the flop with a 6. Let's see if he goes for a little bit of value here. He might not think Limitless is checking back a 9 enough on the turn. He might not think Limitless is checking back a club draw on the turn. So he might decide to work this in his value bet range, and he does bet 5,000. Limitless has ace high. He's seen Fedor bet as a bluff multiple times so far in the match. Does block the club in his hand. Might think about doing something real crazy and going all in here. Wouldn't be surprised if you'd see him call. He beats some 7s. He beats some 8s. He's in the tank. Very serious look on his face. Very serious look on his face. I mean, looks kind of angry in a way. He does all in. Could Fedor find the call? So Limitless turns his nut flush blocker. Thinks he's playing the great game of Potland Omaha here, guys. I don't think Fedor's going to lay this one down. He's basically saying he's got a backdoor club draw or a top pair that he checked on the turn. We know that you should be doing that sometimes, but Fedor might not necessarily think about that. And he might just decide this guy's full of it. He knows I'm capable of bluffing me here. He's seen me bluff here. Maybe this guy has a hand like maybe like a 10-8, something like that. He does lay it down. Nice bluff there by Limitless. $16,000 pot goes over his way. The ace queen of clubs. Very nice play there by Limitless. Fedor, very tough spot. Yeah, Fedor. Boyan says Holz is also playing pretty well. Yeah, I think Fedor's playing pretty well, man. Right? Like maybe making, you know, some mistakes, maybe a little bit loose in some spots. And the problem is that a lot of really good players, like if you make a few mistakes, they think that you're dog shit. So they're very critical, and then they start telling other people that this guy's bad, and then you start believing that this guy's bad because Doug Polk said these guys are terrible. Now, in comparison to maybe Doug Polk, right? Maybe they aren't that good because Doug Polk is one of the best. But compared to 99.999% of players, these guys are exceptional players, even a guy like Fedor. So I still think Fedor can compete against anyone in a heads-up moment hold'em. So, and maybe F 20,000 hands, he might not be able to compete, but over a small sample size, I think that a reasonable player should be able to compete. Cregan says, my Twitter is Cregan. I'm also on all. All right, cool. I'll hit you up with some suggestions. Cockatoo's 20 minutes behind. Yo, shout out to Cockatoo. I want to talk to that kid, man. Cockatoo goes way back. We go way back in the day, man. We were playing like full ring hold'em on stars back in the day, dude. Can't believe he's still kicking after it, getting after it. Seems like he's in pretty good spirits, and he's kind of memeing a lot, making a lot of jokes, says some things that piss some people off. Right hand side, 3-bet alert, lock in. Fedor bets the turn with the sevens. Turn seems like a spot you can go bet or check. And this is where you make your money as a poker player. And Wiktor check calls. Turn is a 7. Now Wiktor is going to be check calling the turn with some overpairs. Hands like queens, kings, pocket tens. Also going to have flush draws. Ace, king, ace, queen. Fedor might think about value betting this hand. Very close spot. So 3-bet pre-flop by Wiktor. Wiktor bet the flop. Very small. Fedor called. He's going to be floating there with backdoor hearts, backdoor straight draws. He's going to be betting the turn with some of those backdoor draws and then having to bluff those on the river. So Wiktor might feel like his ace queen, having no spades in his hand, is going to be a hand to call with. Therefore, Fedor might start thinking about adding in hands like pocket sevens as value bets. And he does value bet. He overbets it. Wow, a sick play. What the hell's going on here? The young prince. Wow. So he overbets the river and he gets called. Nice hand by Fedor Holz. Okay, well, he effectively put Wiktor all in. $41,000 pot goes Fedor's way. Nice play by him. And that actually might be a little bit more standard of value bet than I might be thinking. But that seems like a pretty great spot there for Fedor to find a bet for value. On the river, very nice hand by him as he stacks Limitless. That's more what I'm focused on in my own play. You know, anyone can sound smart about poker, but not many people can really fucking play poker. So left-hand side, Fedor 3-bets pre-flop. C-bets the flop. Wiktor calls with the backdoor flush draw and the queen. Hits the queen on the turn, and now Fedor might get stacked here. This could be dicey because Wiktor is going to be calling the flop with a lot of those gutters, some ace highs. Might not always bet ace 5 offsuit on the turn. Might not always bet that hand, but he's probably going to be betting 4-5, 5-7. He's going to be playing those hands in the suited variety with 3-bet pre-flop, but not the unsuited hand, not the unsuited hands. But he's going to be playing some weak aces, maybe like a king 10. So Fedor calls 1-7 on the river. Not a good card. He loses to 4-5. 7-5 suited shows down as 7 now, so probably won't bet on the river. Whereas that's the kind of hand 7-4 suited, 7-5 suited, 8-5 suited. Those are the kind of hands that we might see bluff the turn. And now Wiktor has to be loving this right now. He's probably going to ship it in here with the top pair. Hope to get called by ace jack. Hope to get called by pocket eights, maybe ace high. And he's looking to get one back. Big pot's brewing here. Fedor faces the all in. He's got pocket eights. He's got to be thinking, is this guy really got it here, man? What does this guy have? What can I beat? You know, would Wiktor jack 10? What do you have, jack 10 here? I don't think so. What kind of bluffs does this man have? King 10, king 8. Probably not calling with king 8 on the flop. Ace 5. Yeah, could be certainly could be a hand. And Fedor lays it down. Nice fold by Fedor. Does not pay it off. Looks like they're talking a bit. Okay.
Also, maybe for everyone watching, like Wiktor is playing the 100K today. We both had day 2 in the 10K, so
yeah.
We just decided
I think
today.
we still play quite fast, anyways.
Yeah. So no, just that we're talking a bit less than last time and probably less.
But I mean, but we have 2
next time.
tables, and I think that's actually probably more fun too.
Yeah. So that's the reason.
Jack 5 suited for Wiktor on the left. He might be thinking about 4-bet alert in here. I don't think so, though. He does 4-bet with the Jack 5. Okay, okay. Jack 5 suited. Okay, it's suited. Makes a flush. That makes sense. Fedor, Queen 9 is diamonds. I don't think he's going anywhere. We saw him call earlier with Jack 9. We saw him call with King 8. He does call. Flops 10, 6, 4. So Wiktor with the backdoor straight draw, 2 backdoor straight draws, and a backdoor flush draw. Fedor, whole bunch nothing. Just has the queen highs and the latest one down. So hand number 300 is the ace 6 of clubs for Fedor Holz. So if somebody guessed ace 6 of clubs, they're going to get $1,000. So congratulations. We're going to find out if anyone did indeed guess the ace 6 of clubs. Fedor folds to left-hand side. Right-hand side, another 3-bet. Ace Jack, flops Queen, Queen, 7. Fedor, 2 pair, 7s and queens with the 4 kicker. Wiktor. These guys seem like they're oversea betting on these board. There's not much checking going on by these guys in 3-bet pots. They're choosing to bet small very often. Fedor not going to go anywhere with the 2 pair. Going to call at least one. Left-hand side, overbet. By Limitless on the turn, river is a blank, and he might need to continue blasting through here. He does check it, though, and King High is going to win. Right-hand table, Wiktor bets, gets called. Turn is a 4. Backdoor. Yeah, backdoor heart draw potentially for Limitless. And Wiktor's going to bet once again. Ace Jack. Beautiful hand to bet with. Does turn. That nut flush draw. Fedor's going to be peeling that flop. That small bet with hands like 8, 9, 9, 10. Backdoor spade draws. Some ace highs. But Fedor's not going to go anywhere with the 7-4. He's going to call at least one more time. Does have those Potland Omaha blockers for the full house. River's a king. Ay, Wiktor. What are you going to do, Poppy? Lock in, big pot energy brewing on the right-hand side. Ace Jack offsuit, 3-bet pre-flop, bet flop, bet turn. Fedor Holz does not have the most advantageous hand to have. Will Wiktor fire a barrel through? I think it's going to get through if he does. 19,000 in the middle. King on the river. Fedor with 7s. Well, he has 3 pairs. Got that Fedor Holz. He's got the 3 pair, but not the 3 pair you want to have. And Wiktor goes with that small bet once again. Very interesting play by Wiktor. 7,300. I mean, I guess it makes sense to go smaller bet here. Wow, this is a really interesting hand. So it makes sense to go small. If you go small versus big, the range is probably going to be pretty similar. So what folds? Some 7s. Some 7s might fold to a shove and call this small bet. Some 4s. Interesting size. So can Fedor Holz find the call here, guys? He's got 3 pair, Fedor Holz, but the flush is out there, the queen's out there, ace king, king 10, maybe a hand like queen 9. Got to be scared about those hands. I think Fedor is going to lay this one down. Fedor's in the tank, no expression on his face, trying to get a read on Wiktor. Wiktor's giving nothing away. It's like they're not even there seeing each other. SS Torture wants the snap call. Scooby says small bet is less than 50%, Joey. Thank you, Poppy. Fedor might even shove. Ohm says, I agree. I don't think Fedor's going to shove. Does he have it in him? I don't think he's got it in him to shove here, and maybe it's a bad play to shove. He does lay it down. Nice bluff there by Limitless. Fedor not sure about it. Yeah.
I was balanced in this line, so I think your call or fold will be the MEV.
Yeah, I had a jam. I think that's.
Ooh.
But I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or call? Not sure. Not sure.
attention to that other one. To not make a short stake. I need to keep attention to the 100 because 2 pots different way. I have 30 BB and it's bad already. But so far so good for starting. So if you have a jam hand, means you probably have like a Jack 10, Jack heart, something like that.
I had 4-7 of clubs.
Ah, I think deeper it's more jam, but I mean, can be okay.
Yeah, I also felt like it's not deep enough.
Yes.
But also, I wasn't sure how good of a calling hand it is, but
like I
probably
cannot
not.
fold flush anyway, so I think you'd probably fold.
So pocket eights here for Fedor on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, Limitless bets the turn. That was what he was hoping happened last time. He had that 7-6 offsuit. He was hoping Fedor just called the flop light, folded the turn. So 3-bet on the left-hand side. Fedor bets. Victor's going to call with the ace-jack, backdoor flush draw, and backdoor straight draw. Turn is a king, Victor. Could better check here. Fedor is going to be checking some queens. Maybe some king sixes, king fives. Victor does bet. Fedor probably going to call one time with the eights here. Might not be expecting Victor to bet a queen. Victor is going to bet his gutters, maybe his bottom pairs. 8 on the river. Ay, puppy. Great river for Fedor Holz, the young prince. Here we go, guys. Is Victor going to fire away?
Victor!
He checks it back. Ay.
You took the same line like 5 times in a row. And
Oh, what a river, man.
Why? I win without it too. Now you should have jammed.
I mean, if this not river, I'll probably.
Man, why not all of it? Tell me.
Sometimes you know to know how to fold them and to fold them.
Yeah, old school rec, huh?
The secret.
Field player. What a field player this guy is.
Fedor bets again. Victor's not going to go anywhere. Turns the open in a straight draw. Scared of a flush, of course. But he knows that Fedor, I mean, yeah, I guess how light Fedor is going to be check raising here and betting. You know, probably hands that maybe connect with that 6. But Victor does call. Alex Roost in the chat. Puppy! What's going on, brother? Les Mildenberg enjoying from New Hampshire. Thank you, Les. Glad you guys are enjoying. Let's see what Fedor does here on the right. Is he going to bet for value? Hope to get called by a worse jack. Maybe a 5. Maybe a 3. Probably not a 3. Yeah, a little dicey spot. Once you check raise here and you get to the river. And he does go with a real small bet. 1,100. Now Victor. Probably not going to do anything but call here.
Looks like a shopping bet. That's how we call it. Cash game streets.
Wow, Victor lays it down. So Victor lays down the jack 4, the second pair. What a fold by Victor.
Did you say Stefan bet?
Shopping bet.
Oh, shopping.
You bet this to afford shopping.
So Fedor, this would be the first 5-bet of the match as the big pot energy begins to build up. GTO, great times only. Let's see what Fedor Holz is going to do here, guys. 50-something hundred to him. 52, does that look like? Yeah. We've not seen a 5 bet. He does indeed 5 bet. Makes like a min 5 bet to 10.5K, it looks like. Very interesting size. Here we go, boys. Lock in. Could see one of our biggest pots of the session so far. What is Wiktor going to do? Is he going to continue here at min 5 bet? I mean, can you fold any hand to a min 5 bet? King 10 of diamonds. He's be really unlucky here for Fedor. He loses to the king 10 after he min 5 bets him. He does call. Oh my God, look at that. 6-3 deuce, all diamonds, the flush for Limitless, the nut flush drop for the young prince. And this is going to decide this session. Will Fedor be thought of as a heads-up no and hold'em god after his 2-session victory? It's all going to come down to this. 4-bet, or a 5-bet rather, our first 5-bet, 6-3 deuce, all diamonds. Fedor Holz, ace king, ace of diamonds. Back up that truck for Limitless with the king 10. This is the kind of flop you want to see when you call him in 5-bet with king 10. And the small bet for Fedor, very small, $3,000. How is Limitless going to play it? Let's see if he gives anything away in his face. Nope, he looks stoic. He does call. Turn is a 4. Can Fedor get there? 16,000 in the middle. Is he just going to ship it in here? I think he's got to go all in. The young prince of Germany, ace king. The guy running, we know this guy's making a flush. He always makes the flush. Fedor in the tank, deciding to bet or check. Not much money left behind. 26,000 in the middle, 17,000 behind. Fedor Holz, ace king. Nut flush draw. Gonna see the bad news here. If he ships it in, he's gonna get snap called by Limitless. And we will see what happens. Lock in. He bets small again. No shoving. Okay. What is Wiktor gonna do? This is real weird. Left-hand side. Nice pot for Limitless. What is Wiktor gonna do? What do you do here? Your opponent bets 4,700. He does call. Oh no, river's a queen. Somehow Fedor might not get stacked here. How good does this guy run? He's not going to get stacked in a 5-bet pot when he has a nut flush draw. Is he going to bluff? I don't think he's going to do it here, guys. 13,000 behind. The pot's, what is that? 38,000, 36,000 there. I don't think this guy's going to do it. Ace, king. I mean, what does your opponent have? He's probably could have like king, queen with 1 diamond. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. The chat says he's got a shove. Does he? Fedor Holz, his run good is broken. And Fedor does check it over to Wiktor. Wiktor gonna go all in after some tanking. 12,000 behind. 36,000 in the middle. Fedor. He goes all in. Fedor maybe thinking about calling. What hand does he beat here? Ace, jack, jack of diamonds. You got to remember, this is a weird hand because he 5-bet min. So if Limitless 4-bet ace, jack offsuit
not
potentially.
exciting. Go for it.
Yeah, more tanking says, name one better bluff hand Fedor has. I mean, you do want to bluff sometimes, money. You know, I don't know. Fedor's thinking about calling here. What can he beat?
Pretty weird that you're jamming.
Yeah, it's a real bad road for Victor. Victor had a hand like king, queen. King, queen, king of diamonds.
Okay.
Fedor lays it down. Only the young prince can get away from a
I
5-bet pre-flop spot.
Nikita crushed my strong hand.
Wow.
Hold it.
Willing to mix it up today.
King 10 of diamonds. Ay.
Good fold.
Fedor just saw that Victor showed up with the king 10 of diamonds that one hand, the big 5-bet hand. Got to be happy he didn't lose more, I guess, out of that. You know, he did get a nice 13,000 saved on the river. So, Benton, how's it going? Who wins at the moment right now? It's been going back and forth. No one's really had a big lead at all. They're about even for the day. So, Fedor came into this session up about 37,000. He's going to go out of this session. As of right now, around that same mark. Unless anything big happens, left-hand side overbet with Jack 4 by Victor. Not going to work as Fedor turns that 2 pair with the 7-8. See what Fedor decides to do. Might think about check raising here. Try to get called by an overpair potentially, or a strong queen. But he does check call. Not surprising versus the overbet. Now Victor, you know, yeah, I mean, he overbet the turn, gets called. Gonna have some flush draws for Fedor. Fedor's gonna have top pairs, some 7s. And now he's got the jack. He's got a block. He's got a blocker. I mean, you know, he might 7,100 in the pot. Let's see if he goes for it. And if he goes for it, what size does he choose? And he does bet 5,000. Fedor, easy call. Calls the 2 pair, $17,000 pot.
Maybe no.
I was surprised. Why? I thought you're gonna go for like 100 now.
I should have. I got distracted.
Especially with this hand. But
yeah,
you have the heart.
I had to. It's 100%. I just had like 2 other situations. But I guess I was lucky I didn't.
Yeah, but Jack of Hearts. Yeah.
It's like not optimal. I can Jack 6 always win. But
Last hand going down here on the left. Not a good board for queens. Ace, king, yeah, you know. Yeah. 8-5 for the young prince. Bottom pair. He does overbet. Okay. Whoa! Nice bluff by Fedor. Fedor got him off the queens there. Nice hand. Okay.
See you later.
See you.
And that's how it's going to end, my friends. So there we go. 100, 200, day 2, session 2. Fedor Holz versus Limitless. Battling back and forth today. Looks like Fedor Holz was the victor after about 450 some hands.